The letter arrived in month 15. My landlord had become aware, he wrote, that I was making use of a storage room adjacent to my flat that was not included in my tenancy agreement and therefore not covered by my rent. He wished to formalise this arrangement. The additional charge would be £85 per month, backdated 3 months. £255 I apparently already owed, plus £85 every month going forward. I read it twice. Then I went and looked at the storage room. It was accessed through a door in my hallway. An ordinary door, not marked, not locked, no signage suggesting it belonged to anyone else or was anything other than part of the flat. I had been using it to store a bicycle and several boxes since the week I moved in, 14 months earlier. Nothing in my tenancy agreement, my check-in inventory, or any communication I had ever received had suggested it was anything other than part of the property I was renting. I photographed the door, I photographed the room, then I sat down with my tenancy agreement and read every word of it. The tenancy agreement described the property as a 2-bedroom flat on the top floor. It did not mention the storage room. It did not exclude the storage room. The check-in inventory covered the kitchen, bathroom, 2 bedrooms and hallway. No reference to any additional space, not included, not excluded, not mentioned at all. In law, what you rent is what is described in your agreement. If a space is accessible from the property you rent is not excluded by the agreement, and a reasonable person would consider it part of the property, the landlord cannot retrospectively declare it separate and charge for it. That is a unilateral variation of the tenancy terms. A unilateral variation requires the tenant's consent. I called Shelter's advice line to confirm my reading. The advisor confirmed it. She also noted that the backdated charge, applying a new financial obligation to a period that had already passed, was particularly problematic. I wrote back to my landlord, politely, factually, and briefly. I explained that the storage room appeared to form part of the demised premises as described in my tenancy agreement, that I had been using it since move-in with no indication it was excluded, that I did not agree to the additional charge or the backdated amount, and that any new charge would require my agreement. I said I was happy to discuss the matter but would not be making any payment while the status of the room was disputed. He wrote back threatening to pursue the backdated charges through the small claims court. I replied welcoming this in writing. I said I looked forward to having the matter clarified through the appropriate process and that I would be cross-claiming for any costs I incurred in defending it. He did not pursue it through the small claims court. After 2 weeks of silence, he wrote again. The tone was different. He accepted that the status of the storage room had not been adequately addressed in the original tenancy documentation, and that, on reflection, he did not wish to pursue the matter formally. The additional charge would not be applied. I thanked him for the clarification and asked him to confirm in writing that no additional charges relating to the storage room would be applied for the remainder of my tenancy. He confirmed it. I continued to use the room for my bicycle and my boxes for another 11 months until I chose to move on. Not once did the subject come up again. Read your tenancy agreement carefully before you sign. What it includes matters. What it excludes matters equally. And if something isn't excluded, it is almost certainly yours. Has a landlord ever tried to introduce a charge that wasn't in your original agreement? Drop it in the comments. And if you want more complete stories with no part 2s that never come, follow the page. New story every day.